and welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know just about 40 years ago, Richard Petty had a terrible flip at Charlotte Motor Speedway that caused him to stick his hand out the window so he could let everyone know he was okay, but it ended up resulting in him having an injury. NASCAR did not like this and installed a window net. You probably already knew that, but hey, we didn't really have any time to look for facts, so we just found that one on the fly. But anyways, welcome to the Nas Boys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm here with my good friends Ryan, aka underscore Ryan underscore W underscore.
Three underscores.
I have no
Three underscores, Ryan underscore W, three underscores. Hey guys.
Yeah, I screw up his name every time because it's kind of long. Anyways, I'm also here with Christian, aka Savage NASCAR.
What's up?
All right, so before we begin this episode, I would just like to apologize for the quality of last episode. There was so much static and buzzing, so hopefully we can fix that. All right, now let's get down to business. So, for our first topic of the night, Anthony Alfredo has been confirmed to go to Front Row Motorsports. For those of you that don't remember, in the first episode, we talked about him being rumored to do it, but now it is confirmed. Also, David Reagan will be running the 500. So, what's you guys' thoughts on that?
I think
feel like. Sorry, Ed.
no, you go. You're good. You're good. You go.
All right. Well, basically, I think Anthony Alfredo, I think he moved up too fast. I think that, he hasn't had enough experience in expanding your truck. I think they're moving him up too fast. And it's kind of like what I said about Natalie Decker. I feel like she got moved up too fast as well. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, he'll probably end up getting in a wreck in the 500 and maybe a big one or something. And then David Reagan, he's actually been pretty good at restrictor plate tracks in his career. But, the last couple of 500 starts he's had, he hasn't done too well. So we'll just have to see. I mean, the season starts in like a month and can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah, I agree that Alfredo is definitely. I don't think he has enough experience to go all the way to Cup. Like, I know it's just for one race, but still, he hasn't gotten the full season in for Xfinity. I think it will be interesting to see how he does. First time Cup car, especially at a restrictor plate track. But they're moving a little quick with him. David Reagan, cool. I'm glad good at the restrictor plates. Don't know how he's going to do, but I'm going to enjoy watching him on track. Hopefully he doesn't crash, but you never know.
Yeah, I agree with what Christian said. Alfredo got moved up way too fast, and this brings my point up once again that these drivers should be mandated to one full-time season in both Xfinity and trucks before they move up to the Cup level. Anthony is a great driver. Don't get me wrong. I thought he did pretty good in his starts with RCR, but I don't know, man. Just did not do good, or not good move by Front Row. Also, Spud is not here tonight, as you notice, but because he was busy. But anyways, next topic. Oh yeah, David Reagan. David Reagan did okay move for Front Row. Not surprising. But yeah, next topic. Alex Bowman's paint scheme was leaked for the 2021 season. There should be a picture of it if you have not seen it, but I think the three of us have seen it. So what are you guys' thoughts on the scheme and it getting leaked?
I mean, honestly, like, it doesn't surprise me that it got leaked. Over the past couple months, if you remember Darlington, the throwback paint schemes that leaked, and at the time, like, Hendrick actually threatened to sue people, if I'm correct. I don't know if they sued, but they sent warning to some people. And I mean, you should kind of respect their privacy on that. Like, if they're gonna release it, let them release it, not just go out of your way to do it. trying to get more attention out of doing that and just basically, nosing around, I guess is a good way to put it. But I mean, the car overall, I didn't think it's decent, but I didn't think it was as good as the Jimmy Johnson, like, white colored, like, Ally car or his other ones. I didn't think it was as good, but, it is what it is. I'm a Hendrick Motorsports fan, so I'm going to, of course, support, their paint schemes, but I'm also at the same time going to be honest with what I think about it. And I think that people should just let it be. Stop trying to, like, get information out first and just trying to get attention, I guess, is the best way I could put it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that. I just don't like it when people leak stuff, like going out of their way. And plus, that picture, if you look at the picture, it's kind of hard to tell where they took that picture at, because it looks like they took it outside, like, some garage down the middle of, like, a country road or something. Like, I don't know, like, where that is. And, like, if they were to leak it, then, like, who leaked the picture? And, like, basically, where were they able to find that car? And it's just out in the open.
Yeah, I definitely agree with
Yeah.
you, Christian. That was really stupid that they leaked it, but also kind of helpful for this podcast. You were definitely spot on with that, and yes, they did threaten to arrest. But my thoughts on the scheme, I like it. I might be in the minority, but I really like the scheme. I think it matches Ally's colors perfectly, even though I would have rather them have the white scheme instead of, like, purple. But, purple, it matches their colors perfectly. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I believe the picture was taken maybe at their private shop or their actual public shop. I don't know.
Yeah, it was obviously taken outside somewhere, whether it's at one of their facilities or a random place. But it's mostly when we're seeing leaked schemes, it's Hendrick. They need to probably work on that, especially with the Larson hauler that was leaked. That we'll see later on in the podcast. About the scheme, it's not my favorite. I really like the white scheme that Jimmy ran. Obviously, the 48's white now, except for there in the front bumper. Everywhere else, from what I could see, is white 48, which matches Bowman. I think that's a good move to retire the yellow 48. The scheme, not my favorite. It's good. I agree, it matches Ally's colors, but it's just not my favorite. And looking at it now, I can't really tell if the side is black or if dark purple. It might be dark purple. Pink, do it right on the side. It's a good scheme, but not my favorite overall for the 48 car.
Yeah, I believe it's dark purple to match the rest of the car. But anyways, just like Ryan said, Kyle Larson's hauler was seen driving on the highway, excuse me. And I know, right? I got stuck on hauler. But anyway, it was seen driving on the highway, and it had the HendrickCars.com colors, similar to what Kurt Busch had back in 2012. So what's your thoughts on that getting leaked and that being probably the sponsor for Larson?
Well, I mean, I'm from the Charlotte area, so I mean, it's pretty common. You see, like, NASCAR haulers, like, going up and down the highway during the season and stuff like that. It is kind of odd that you would see a hauler, at this time, like, at this day, it's January the 12th of the day of the recording, and, like, as I kind of, like, have the same opinion as with the Alex Bowman leak, but I mean, in this situation, it's on the highway, so people are going to take pictures of it. I mean, the person who took the picture should stay at their phone while they're driving, but I mean, it's like, at the same time, like, if you're going to have it out on the highway, people are going to see it, people are going to take pictures of it. Of course, it's going to get leaked. So, I mean, that's not that big of an issue, and I think the hauler looks pretty good. I have it right up here on my computer. I think it looks pretty good. It reminds me of, like, a paint scheme that I've seen before from somewhere. I just can't remember where. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, one thing too that I wanted to mention, I saw people were saying that Kyle Larson's going to win the championship this year. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm sure he's going to win some races.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the next episode.
Holler.
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Sorry. HendrickCars.com most likely, well, is the primary sponsor based off the hauler. We can also see Nation's Guard on the hauler. That looks like another big paying sponsor for them based on where it's put. Leaked, obviously, it's on the highway. It's going to be seen. It's going to be spread all over. Someone found to take a picture. And I'm looking at a 3D model, like a 3D render that some graphic designers have made, and of the car itself, it looks good. The colors, I'm not sure about for HendrickCars.com, but good sponsor. I'm glad Larson is back. If this is going to be a sponsor for the whole year, which it most likely will be, I think that's going to be cool, and I'll be curious to see how he does at Hendrick this year, especially at the new tracks, the new road tracks, and the dirt tracks. Bristol dirt.
Yeah, like what Christian said, I think he will get some wins. We will do a prediction video come the duels, but I think that it's interesting to see that he did have HendrickCars.com, and it's not surprising to me since teams don't really want to associate themselves with his history, even though that I fully believe that he's rehabilitated himself and proven that he's a good guy and good driver. But yeah, like Christian said, also don't text and drive. I mean, what are you doing? But yeah, I think that the hauler looks cool, and I can't wait to see the car. I've seen some renders of what people think it could look like, and I really like it. So hopefully Larson does good. I think he can win a couple races. And now moving on to colleague, the Xfinity team. They will be racing in select races, including the Daytona 500 and a couple of road course races. So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I've always liked Kellogg Racing. Ross Chastain when he drove the 10 car. One of my favorite drivers, and I feel like they're a pretty good team. They started small, but they're getting big. They won a lot of races last year, and they're really good at super speedways in the Xfinity Series. Justin Haley did get a win in the 77. If I'm correct, 2019. If I'm correct, yeah. And yes, one thing that's also interesting. It's kind of random, but I'm actually friends with Chris Rice on Facebook. He's the owner, if I'm correct, of Kellogg Racing. So it's kind of interesting, but I think it's a good move. I mean, it'd be fun if they went full time, but at the same time, I don't know like what their money situation is or what type of like funding or their plans are in the future. So part time this year, they're racing more than they did this past season in Cup. So I guess it's just a steady progression.
Yeah, I've always liked Colleague. Thought it was a good team. I was a fan of Ross Chastain when he drove the 10, and Justin Haley. Forgot his name there. Justin Haley. It's gonna be cool seeing them in Cup. Did they say who the drivers are?
No, I haven't seen an announcement yet.
I'm not quite sure.
If I had to guess,
Okay.
it'd be Haley, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I'd love to see Colleague do full time in Cup. Hopefully they can. And again, like Christian said, money wise, I don't know where they're at, but I think it's cool, and I'm gonna be curious to see how they do.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
I'm sorry, Christian.
No, it's good. I'm guessing that AJ Allmendinger will probably run the road course races since he usually does that in Xfinity and occasionally in Cup. So I'm guessing he would do the road courses.
Yeah. I think that it's a good expansion. It could be trying to help Justin Haley get up to Cup because I think maybe after this season he'll be ready to come in 2022. But it just depends on the team whether it's Kurt Busch going in the one and then he can be back to being teammates with Chastain, or if Colleague is going to go up full time. I think the drivers will be Justin Haley and AJ Allmendinger, like what Christian said, and I would for sure love to see AJ Allmendinger especially.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
oh, I'm sorry. Now, what was the most memorable moment from the 2020 season in you guys' opinion?
Christian.
I guess I'll go first. Basically, I kind of talked about this before, but I think I'm trying to think of like two like memorable moments. Like, it depends on like how you define memorable. Like you mean like the most special moment, kind of like heartwarming moment or whatever. But one probably big memorable moment was definitely the Talladega. And even though it's kind of like considered like unmemorable because the way it ended, that one last race, the fall race at Talladega, definitely was memorable because it kind of it symbolized sort of like what 2020 was, but it wasn't, it symbolized it like it to that extent. But it just showed you like you think someone's going to win the race who hasn't won before, and it just gets snatched away. Like, and it was that whole race, like the very ending was just so 2020. Like the stupid, Hamlin went below the yellow line. That's a stupid call, and they gave him the win. That was memorable. But if we're talking about like memorable, like special wise, man, I mean, it's kind of hard to choose. I mean, I would say one would probably be Chase Briscoe's win at Darlington. Like I think it was like a couple days after his wife had a miscarriage, he won the race. I mean, that was kind of memorable, kind of sad, kind of like emotional, a win for that team and for him. And Briscoe is one of my favorite drivers. But I remember I said like another memorable moment, but I just can't quite remember what that is. Kind of forgot, but I'll let Ryan go and I'll see if I can try to remember it.
Yeah, I definitely have multiple memorable moments. One I would say is definitely Ryan Newman's Daytona 500 crash.
Yep.
Because, when it just happened, before they released any news, no one knew, was he alive? How badly injured was he? He was pretty much on it. Everyone who watched the race, he was on their minds that day. Glad he's okay. So that's definitely one of the memorable moments. Again, with both Talladega races, with the crazy finishes. And not sure if too special, but William Byron finally getting a win. Not really a big fan of him, but that was cool. And also,
Yeah,
Cole Custer joining one of the sometimes few drivers to win in the rookie year in the Cup Series.
yeah, that's
That's
a
also
crazy
really
move.
cool.
I have a lot of memorable moments, which I agree with Christian and Ryan. Um, Ryan Newman's crash was definitely a memorable and iconic crash, and I remember coming home and not knowing if he was dying. But if I had to pick, I would either have to go with the drivers rallying around Bubba Wallace because it really showed that NASCAR drivers have hearts, and it was just amazing to see them all rally around him, even though that the news situation was fake. It just warmed my heart
Yeah,
seeing that. And there was another one.
I remember
I
one,
think
but you could finish yours.
I forgot mine too.
Maybe Hamlin and Jordan 23XI could be a memorable moment.
Well, that's just an announcement, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, not really a memorable moment per
Um,
se. I downloaded a picture of it, so
I remember another memorable
it might.
moment for me.
Oh, wait a minute, I remember now. It's when Newman walked out of the
Oh,
hospital. We were just talking about that, and I forgot that he walked out of the hospital with his two little girls. That was amazing to me. Like that really warmed my heart too.
I'd say two other ones I actually remembered. Was the rain roval where they actually raced in the rain and it was just slipping and sliding mess, and I thought that was pretty cool of a race. I thought that was pretty memorable. And then the other one was when Why'd I forget? Oh, it was Noah Gragson and Harrison Burton's fight. I forgot which race it was.
Oh yeah, I think it was at Richmond or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that was a sick fight.
Yeah.
All right, now our tier list. So we haven't done one of these in a while. So let me pause the recording and then get it all done. Up on the screen. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, since I'm dumb, I couldn't figure out how to put it up, so you will see them on the screen now while we read them off. So I'm going to start with mine. Hold on one quick second. All right, so love this team. Team Penske, they're my favorite team. I love Roger Penske and I love Joey Logano. Like this team. Chip Ganassi Racing. I just think that they're a classy organization. I love Ross Chastain, no homo. I love Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is a great guy. Hendrick, if you don't have like them in like one of your favorite teams, then what are you doing? You're stupid. Neutral, Stuart Haas, front row, Germain, they're shut down. GBR, Roush, Richard Petty, Woodbros, just there, Beard, BJ McLeod, Premium, MBM, LFR, JTG, Go Fast, Rick Ware, Starcom, Spire, and Tommy Baldwin. Hate this team, Richard Childress Racing. I don't like that Austin Dillon's kind of a silver spoon. And I think that he uses his car's numbers to only get money. And Joe Gibbs Racing, I'm a Logano fan. That's pretty self-explanatory. All right, next, Ryan.
Yep. So love this team, Team Hendrick, because I've always loved Team Hendrick. It was my dad's favorite team, so growing up, I got from him to like Team Hendrick. I also really like Wood Brothers. They've been in the sport a while. Like their schemes, like their drivers, like the Benedetto. He's my favorite driver currently in the Cup Series. Like this team, RCR, Stuart Haas, BJ McLeod Motorsports, JTG Doherty, even though I don't necessarily like their drivers. Spire, Levine Family Racing, which obviously isn't a team anymore, and Rick Ware Racing. Neutral, most of the smaller teams, Beard Motorsports, Front Row, Gone Brothers Racing, Germain Racing, Go Fast, MBM, Tommy Baldwin Racing, TBR, and Premium Motorsport. Just there, just above hate this team. I have Chip Ganassi Racing. Nothing against him, nothing against the drivers, just never really followed the team. Same with Richard Petty Motorsports, Roush Fenway, and Starcom Racing. Don't like Quinn Houff. For hate this team, sorry, Mike. I do not like Team Penske or their drivers. But I do agree with
pay.
Joe Gibbs Racing. I also have under a what?
I said you must pay for
that.
You must pay for that. I'm kidding. I'm just joking, guys.
Bruh.
Bruh moment.
Well, I mean,
cringe.
I kind of agree. Well, did you? I was going to say, I actually have Team Penske on I hate this team as well, and I could kind of explain. Okay, so so there's a couple reasons. One, Brad Keselowski, never really liked him, never liked the guy. Joey Logano, I mean, I sort of, he's, I mean, I've seen him up close in person, but that doesn't mean that I like him as a driver. But at the same time, like, neutral with Joey Logano, because like he was okay. Like when he first started driving, right? Like he was pretty chill or whatever. Now he has like a win at all cost attitude. Like probably the main reason like that I didn't like him was when the Matt Kenseth incident happened, when he wrecked him at Kansas. That was like when I started to like dislike Logano. But yeah, that's the two drivers I don't like. Two of my least favorite drivers, Keselowski and Logano. And Ryan Blaney, I like Ryan Blaney. He's a pretty cool guy, but he's like the only guy in Penske I like. I don't even like Roger Penske, like the owner. I don't like him, just because the way he's like treated drivers in the past, like even in IndyCar. So that's the main reason why I don't like Team Penske. Now, for just there, I have Tommy Baldwin Racing, Spire, Rick Ware, Premium Motorsports. I don't know why their name is Premium. MBM, Joe Gibbs Racing. I like I like Eric Jones and I like Carl Edwards and I like Joe Gibbs, but I don't like Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. So that's why they're down there at just there. Rushmore Racing's at just there. JBR, BJ McLeod, Beard Motorsports, and Germain Racing. Neutral, I have JTG, Dougherty, Go Fast, and Chip Ganassi. I was thinking about putting Chip Ganassi at like this team because there's a couple drivers like that's raced for them that I like. But I just felt like I need to put them at neutral. I like this team from Motorsports. I like them a little bit, but I didn't like the move they made with Anthony Alfredo. But you know, I like them. You know, they're a small team and they're from North Carolina. I go by their shop most of the time I go to my grandparents' house. Levine Racing. I've met some people with Levine Racing and Starcom Racing. That's why they're there at like this team. Richard Petty Motorsports, I've been to their shop and I'm a big Richard Petty fan, so that's why I put them at like this team. And Will Brothers Racing, I like Matt Benedetto, and I'm not a huge Ford fan, but I like Wood Brothers Racing. And love this team. I got Stewart-Haas Racing. I have multiple of my favorite drivers on that team. RCR, I've been to the shop multiple times. I've met a couple of their drivers. And even though I didn't like the Austin Dillon driving the 3-car, like Mike said, I still like the team a lot. And Hendrick Motorsports, I've always liked Hendrick Motorsports ever since I became a NASCAR fan and I started watching it. So, yeah, there's my list.
All right, and as you can see, because Zoom kind of sucks, but it's better than the software we were using before, we only have 8 minutes left, so hopefully we can get through these last few topics like lightning fast. So let's get started with it.
Yeah.
Santino Ferrucci, I believe he's from IndyCar, is coming to NASCAR. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. He raced in F2 as well. I think it's interesting coming from open wheel racing to stock car racing. I've never really followed him, so I don't have like the biggest opinion on him. So I can't really say much, but it's gonna be cool to see how he does in a stock car. See if he gets used to it quickly and if he's gonna perform and, you know, place good and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, I don't know. Who is he racing for?
I have no idea. Oh, wait, Sam Hunt Racing, I think. SHR 2.0,
Oh,
basically.
okay. I know he's from Connecticut, even though his name probably isn't a Connecticut name. But yeah, I mean, he's 22 years old. He's a young talent. I did not expect him to come to NASCAR, but you know, I mean, you've seen other drivers like that have raced open wheel come to NASCAR, like Juan Pablo Montoya, Dan Patrick, and Dario Franchitti. So, I mean, we'll see how he could do on the track.
Like Christian said, we have had lots of open wheel racers come into NASCAR, such as Dario Franchitti and Kimi Räikkönen as well, and Juan Pablo Montoya. They've all come into NASCAR and have not had the best success, but I don't know. I think that he'll be okay. I think he's only racing in Xfinity, so we'll just have to see what he does. Second to last topic of the night. This happened a couple nights ago. Haley Deegan was on a live stream, just similar to Kyle Larson, except it wasn't really a tournament. She called someone I don't know if I should be saying this. Please excuse me, but she called someone a retard. Please explain you guys' thoughts on that.
I mean, in my opinion, people on Twitch say that all the time and they don't get canceled. But at the same time, you know, it's her first mistake. Give her a break. But at the same time, you know, I can understand why it offends people. I know people who were offended by it and said that she should be canceled and said that she should have like a stricter penalty. I think NASCAR did the right thing, even though it was kind of odd for them to basically make her go into sensitivity training before the season starts. But I can understand why. But everyone should know that she didn't mean it in the way that it was taken. She didn't mean to actually call someone that. She was just kind of saying it in a joke because the driver behind her was basically driving like an idiot. But she said the R word. So basically, that's my take on it. I'll basically talk about that a little bit more on my sports show. I'm not trying to promote myself, but yeah, you could see that on my sports show tomorrow morning. So yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, I can't say I agree with everything they're doing, but I definitely understand it. I understand how it could be offensive to some people with mental disabilities. Sending her to the sensitivity training. Again, she didn't mean it in a bad way. She wasn't saying it to a person who actually had it. Stuff slip out of people all the time. The people who are enforcing these rules can't say they've been perfect either.
Yeah.
But I understand why this is happening. Not necessarily agree with everything they're doing, but I definitely do understand it.
Well, in my personal opinion, that word does not offend me, but I can see why people would get offended by it. And due to Haley's position as a figure in the sport, how she's trying to be more of a female role model like Danica was, I don't think that she should have said that, but I understand that, she was just having fun with friends and it just slipped out, and that's okay. She just made a mistake. I don't think it's worth pulling cancel culture out on her. I hope that she can, go through the sensitivity training and just not do it again. And she had apologized about it right after she got off the stream, so respect to her for doing that. And our final topic, Kyle Larson got a new spotter. His old spotter got kicked from the team because he was reading and retweeting stuff from QAnon, which I think is a pro-Trump outlet, but I have to look that up. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I was surprised that his spotter got fired, but I heard he said something online, but I don't know what it was. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for him. I mean, this spotter apparently must have been pretty good. I don't know how long he was with the team or whatever, but I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah, same. This is actually the first time I'm hearing about this now. But yeah, I didn't know that happened. I'm guessing that he would have been a good spotter, obviously. Kind of sucks for him that he's out, but again, he's the one who said what he said. So
I am not entirely sure why he's out of there, but I just read somewhere like he was reading like QAnon. But if anyone knows like what he did exactly, please comment it down below because I'm not entirely sure what happened. All of a sudden, I just saw Kyle Larson's spotter got fired, and then he just got a new one. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that, but it's whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching this. As you can see, we only have 2 minutes left, but it's enough time for an outro. Comment, like, and subscribe. We're doing a live stream this Friday with my boy Eli. He's my real life friend who doesn't watch NASCAR. That should be fun.
Should be really fun.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yep, see you guys.